A little bit of introduction and background. Just like people who live in states, DC residents pay federal and local taxes, but they do not have a voting representative in Congress. DC residents do have representation, but the representative cannot vote and can only sit on committees. When there's a presidential election, the Electoral College gives DC the same number of votes as the smallest state, even if it has a larger population. Unlike the states, when DC receives federal funding, it also gets special orders on how to spend the money. The President of the U.S. appoints DC local judges, and states judges are appointed by state officials before 1974, Congress appointed the people who would govern Washington, D.C. Now there is an elected mayor and 13 city council. Even though the mayor and city council govern the city, Congress still reviews and sometimes changes DC's laws and budgets. No states have their laws and budgets reviewed by Congress. When DC was founded, it was designed to be the seat of the federal government, not a real city where people live. Even though the city is home to more than 500,000 people today, they are still not represented with a vote in Congress. DC has had a non-voting delegate in the House of Representatives since 1971. And the delegate was given the right to vote on the floor when the House meets as a committee of a whole to take the first actions on bills in 1993. The protest mindset is that DC residents pay more in taxes than any other state in America, but we are denied the right to choose how our tax dollars are spent. No other industrialized nation in the world denies residents of its national capital the right to participate in the country's national legislature except the U.S. The protest goals are that they want people to understand and demand change from the Republican-controlled Congress that cares little for D.C., except when they want to force their will on others. Chairmen Chavez and Rogers and Senator Cruz don't deserve to be lobbied any longer by them, and they deserve protests. They deserve public shaming and as much disruption as possible to highlight their continued denial of their basic human rights. They want to free DC by becoming fully equal to the 50 U.S. states. They want to voice their civil rights by amending the Constitution. When it comes to identity politics, Stanley Fish's article, it was mentioned that by practicing identity politics is when you vote for or against someone because of her skin color, ethnicity, religion, gender, sexual orientation, and any other marker. The markers in this instance would be that of locality and ideology. They all come from DC and are treated as a district when it comes to voting rights, which they do not agree with. They all believe that they should become a state and be treated as a state in order to have the same voting rights as it pertains to expenditures. Because of this, they want to rally together in order to go against, or in their words, shame chairsmen and senators since they believe they are being manipulated by the elite in this case. In order to put this rally together, there was a great deal of civic engagement involved. In their process, in which the community was able to reach out to each other through social media. This is also an example of how this rally personifies globalization. If we think back to Thomason's article about how globalization is not a destructive force and how it can actually strengthen identity, in this case we have a rally that was set up via modern technology, and it was still able to bring a large group together for not only one day but for several days. Thank you.